I'm not sure how to feel about Battlefield 2042's development update, and I say that with air quotes because it really wasn't much of a development update. Normally I wouldn't make a video about something like this. For all those new to the channel, I tend to only really post a video when I have something to say. I'm not really the type of person that just wants to summarize a news article or something, and when it comes to a 2-minute video, usually there wouldn't be much for me to say. This time though, I honestly feel slightly insulted as a player of Battlefield 2042. I've been playing this game since the beta, and I've generally kept a pretty positive outlook and tried my best to understand the situation DICE must find themselves in. On one side, they have a very tight, oppressive leash of EA corporate executives, and on the other, an extremely bitter and critical community. This update video felt so completely tone deaf. For days, maybe even weeks leading up to the release of it, there has been so much hype and marketing generating interest, with expectations of DICE finally opening up and giving details not just on Season 6 and what that will entail, but what support there will be for the game beyond Season 6, if any. Since the release of Season 4, Battlefield 2042 has been shrouded in uncertainty. DICE has a really inconsistent track record with live service. Say what you want about Call of Duty, but there's no denying that since Modern Warfare 2019, the raw quantity of content and consistency of release schedule instills a sense of comfort in their players. Those players know what they can expect from their developers. Season 4 of 2042 was surmised to be the end because that was the last of the required seasons advertised at launch of the game. Season 5 could have been the final one, since DICE seemed to come to the conclusion of their efforts to restore many missing features along with revamping base game content. And now Season 6 is surrounded by that same sense of unease, and everyone was hoping for something transparent and honest from DICE, be it a sense of closure and finality in 2042's swan song, or continued encouragement with some measure of detail, or a schedule of what's to come through potential Seasons 7 and 8. Watching the 2-minute and 13-second development update was the first time since Season 1 of 2042 that I truly felt disheartened. Felt like none of the lessons over the last year and a half had been learned. I wasn't mad, I was just disappointed. We got less than 20 seconds of a teaser for Season 6, which will launch in October instead of immediately after Season 5, and in the meantime, we'll be given remixed versions of the mid-season events from Seasons 2 to 4. And here's the thing, I'm not actually upset about the content of the announcement. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's a cultural norm in DICE's part of the world to take a multi-week break for the summer, and I fully support that. It's important to live our lives and not get so caught up in work. And with that in mind, it's perfectly understandable that Season 6 would need to be pushed back to accommodate that time off, and so that work on the season could be completed. That, in my mind, and probably in the minds of most players that are not completely immature, is absolutely fine. I'm not even all that sad that they didn't mention anything substantial for support beyond Season 6. To be clear, my position, despite most people jumping on the wagon once again claiming that support for the game is over, is that we will get more content updates after Season 6. It may not be in the form of seasons, but the next game isn't coming for a very long time, and I can't imagine it would be a wise move from a business perspective to leave the only monetizable entry in the franchise languishing and abandoned instead of generating at least some revenue. The thing that really did upset me after watching the video is that they didn't just say this. They didn't just say that they're going on holiday, and in the meantime they threw together a redux of past events to tide us over with old and new rewards, and that they'd be back to finish off the work for Season 6. They didn't even hint at other content for Season 6, like guns or vehicles or gadgets. While work on it may not be done or finalized, there has to be something that they'll absolutely launch that could have been teased. And if they are planning more content after Season 6, I would have been so happy to at least hear a quick sentence, something like, "We're beyond Season 6, we're aiming to continue bringing content in some form," so that we know they hear us, can address our unease, and that we have a future to look forward to. It's just annoying because if this video were titled differently and the script written better, I'd actually feel kind of excited. I absolutely adored the shutdown game mode we got with the Leviathan Rising event, and I'll definitely be dumping hours into it, especially since it will have more maps and possibly new rewards to earn. It's all just soured by this continued callous approach EA and DICE have when communicating with the players. I'd say that with the very predictably loud negative response of the development update, DICE and EA may look inward and learn something about how they communicate and try to grow along with their player base, but we all know they won't. And that does it for me, and I want to hear from all of you about this. If you've watched the development update, what did you think of it? Are you excited for the new season and honestly kind of cool looking new map that's coming with it? Will you be jumping in to play the old events again? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to talk about it. With that, leave a like or a dislike, and I'll see you in the next video.